Hey everyone, this is Uthris and welcome back to Medieval Engineers. Let's build a Citadel episode, whatever. So last episode we went ahead and finished the kind of commanders section of the barracks and general quarters and things like that. This episode we're skipping over the armory. I didn't have time to work on it, as you guys probably know, so I'll probably do that probably off camera, but I want to try and get this main HRAM in, and this is kind of the main access point into the Citadel. It's going to have a left-right wing, and then of course a back section. This is going to be the kind of main feasting hall, banquet hall, whatever you want to call it like that. It's not the keep. The keep is where, you know, the king or whatever would be the ruling faction would be living, but this is more of like the public place for gatherings and things of that nature. So we'll just go ahead and get started. I'm not even 100% sure what I want this thing to look like, so it's just going to be kind of up in the air for a little while, I'm sure. So it'll be something. Hopefully something pretty cool. Let's see. Let's do something like that. And then we can put this kind of piece in there. And that'll give us kind of an interesting shape for the hall itself. And this isn't like the shape of the full building, it's just the shape of the room. And then from here, let's go ahead and add. We're going to need some defensive battlements, I'm sure. And to do so, we need to put some foundation down first. Usually, let's do round towers for this. So they'll kind of fit in like so. And then let's go ahead and put a set of square towers in the middle, and this is going to act like a big anchoring point for a lot of the weight of the structure, and also a good defensive area as well. So we can just kind of stack up our walls. Ignore the big jittering mess that is that texture glitch. It'll be fixed. I'll end up either you won't see it once everything's built around it, or I'll end up putting some wooden floors over it so it doesn't hurt everyone's eyes. It's still going to do it down here though, a little bit, but it's just kind of a connecting little hallway here, so it's not a major problem. Do this. So this marks out kind of the first set of defensive towers and how they're going to work. As to the access points for these, thinking something like this, and that is my phone. And yeah, totally looks like a guy flexing his arms. Yeah, I just did a little bit of pixel art for you guys. Congratulations, you get to see something different. And then in this area here, it's going to be a doorways maybe, where I can just widen the whole structure just a little bit, kind of give it extra room. No. This is so far only for banqueting and things like that, so we can keep it thin for now. Upper floors might appear as in conjunction with it, but let's see. I'm thinking this path will end up going this way and being connected here somehow. We'll probably have some servants' quarters here along this side, maybe a kitchen. some type of utilitarian area by the barracks. Let's go with, let's go ahead and raise up the walls, I think. And this area isn't going to have the really close and tucked in mountain. I mean, it will in a certain spot, but there's going to be a little courtyard, I think, out here right before it kind of curves back. So I'm thinking I can hook up some type of small garden area here. And that'll kind of give us an excuse to put some windows as well. Try and keep it a interesting structure. My chair is really squeaky. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's pretty bad right now. Let's put some windows up. And then how I usually do this back area, when these are kind of meeting at an awkward angle, I do that and delete the center block, leaving something like this. And then what you can do to kind of seal that off is kind of up to you. Usually the easiest thing to do is do some type of wooden effect or something of that nature to make sure it's all flush. Let's see, need to widen that up a little bit and bring in some walls. And let's go ahead and put a window on each side. Something like that. Just test our spacing. We're gonna go with a too high ceiling here. That way it just looks a little bit more grand. So to do that, do I want to do a vaulted ceiling and keep it stone? Or do I want to do a wooden ceiling? The problem is definitely this end here, because there's really no way for me to do a ceiling very well for this section. It might just kind of wrap around naturally here. If I just maybe add another windows section. I don't know what I'm doing. Something like that. And I can think of some type of cool support to kind of just seal off this area. This would be kind of, I guess, the main seat, or just some extra seating that's not part of a table. It's almost like a separate room without having to be a separate room. Maybe. Need one of these for sure, and a nice beam to go across. And my hotbar is getting messier the longer we work. There we go. It's kind of cool. Kind of church-like, cathedral-like. And then if I combine it with maybe these triangles, maybe we'll get a little bit of a cool wooden effect. Or just some sort of detail that you wouldn't normally get. We'll just make it double wide. And there we go. That's pretty cool, pretty cool. And I don't know how I want to do the roof itself. I guess it won't be seeing a actual peaked roof. It'll just stay this kind of vaulted. I'm going to drag the wooden section out. It's going to be this flat area. But I don't know how much I like this. This almost looks like a hallway rather than what I was going for. So I might have to almost treat it like a cathedral, I guess. Tell you what. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Wrong block, wrong block. Is this the right way? Sure, why not? Heck if I know. Alright. Maybe we can just fill this up with upper windows, almost like a cathedral. Like that. And then at that point we can do these stone arches and put some sort of wooden triangle supports over it. Run up and down, run up and down. I think that'll at least make it look open and nice looking. At least from the perspective inside. Now it kind of limits how much we can layer on top of it for sure. And that might come and bite us a little bit later, or we just build a box around the roof itself to make the roof look nice inside, but outside we have to hide it somehow. I don't know. And keep dragging these out. Like so. Then I think for the center section, we can get a little fancy and use one of these doorways. It's kind of like an open beam support. Kind of a little common trick I'm starting to do now. And we'll put on the peak. There you go. So that is pretty much how that goes. This section is going to be a little weird, I guess. Let's do a window for this. That might be a little interesting at least. And then we can do a stone pillar for its supports. Just like that. And then we can also throw in the wall arches to kind of make it all match. So I think this looks a little, definitely better and more interesting. There's a lot more layers than what we just had before. So you guys can tell me down below if you like this new version or the old version better. Now I just don't know how this is going to work in terms of windows and lighting and the roof in general and a bunch of other little details which can be annoying. But we're just gonna have to keep on trucking along. Oh boy, this is gonna be a little special. So it's gonna have to meet somehow like that. Looks a little weird, but it doesn't look like on the inside here. Actually, thought it was gonna look worse. Not too bad. Be a little weird how we have to seal the top. Maybe I can just put one of these here. And we can just walk this all the way down. Definitely one of the more interesting roofs I've done. It'll need some touching and fixing here and there, but it's definitely okay. It does its job. It's all sealed up. No gaps anywhere. Except for here. And, you know, we can just fix this by going through, grabbing some timber. And really, this is all you need to do. There you go. It's a fully sealed building now. Maybe this will be kind of a low spot and everything else will come up above it, so it can have its own roof section, but everything around it is going to be taller. This is going to be a little bit lower, have its courtyard. It might even have a structure over here that's separate. That might be pretty cool. And then to get into the courtyard, I guess we just need to add a doorway. Let's go with the rounded tower bit here. So it kind of comes down to, you know, staircase placement at this point. So those are the basic foundations there. And then what we got? We need to finish raising up this low wall. Like so. We have a nice little courtyard. People and guests can come down here once they're done with a feast of some sort. And I think the best way to connect that is actually just with one of these like that, to be honest. Wait, no, we already have doors leading out to it. This just needs a door to lead to another side court or something. We need to give an excuse as to why there's windows up here, essentially. And let's give it some support pillars as well. Alright, getting a lot of those little texture glitches. I don't know why. That's never been that bad before. Not noticeable on the inside, at least. So we're at 20 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and try and finish up most of the main structure for this episode, and I'll be back, give you guys a little bit of a tour, and we'll call it there. Okay, everyone. So we got some progress done on this. As you can see, we have a nice, pretty open entryway into the heart of the Citadel, and then eventually we'll have nice access points. It looks like I need to rework this area here, but everywhere you see stone, it's going to be inside of a structure. So ignore the fact that it's kind of standing off on its own right now. It'll have a lot of supporting structures to the left and right of it once we move along throughout the build, and it won't look quite as weak or lackluster by itself anymore. But you know, we have a pretty standard kind of roofing all the way back. We have 4 supporting towers and some additional walkways. I don't know if I want additional pathing from this one up to others or not, but you know, the more we add structures, the more details and things I can start adding to the old bits. So you can, you know, get up onto this section from over there and then work your way through one of the clear story areas up to the top of the tower, and then you're on top of the building at that point. From the main entryway, you know, you just kind of walk in, it opens up pretty instantly and then closes back down as a separation, and then here you are in kind of the grand feast room or dining hall, and this would support, you know, a lot of people if you can just deck this out with desks and chairs. We will be furnishing this place, but it's going to be at the very end as far as I know. You know, plenty of little courtyards, and then once these buildings are up, you can see that they're very much just their own little worlds. They're not very, you know, they probably won't have a very good view beyond just being a bit of grassy area for people to kind of enjoy, so they're not just always in stone. But that'll do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. You know, I was obviously out of town for the past couple days, so you guys got a lot of timber and stone, and so we're kind of going back to the regular uploading schedule, generally Medieval Engineers every other day. I can't really pre-record this very easily because the time it takes me to build something is undefined. Right. Thank you everyone for, you know, wishing me well. You know, it was a tough thing to go through, but it happens to everyone, and everyone eventually. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.